Have you ever found yourself lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering why sleep doesn't come as easily as it used to? Maybe you toss, you turn, you glance at the clock for the 5th time, and suddenly it's 3 a.m. again. If that sounds even a little familiar, you're not alone. As we get older, our sleep patterns naturally change. But here's the thing, most people won't tell you. Just because you're past 60 doesn't mean you have to settle for restless nights and foggy mornings. In fact, getting a good night's sleep is more important now than ever. It's not just about feeling rested. Quality sleep boosts memory, improves mood, supports heart health, and even helps your immune system stay sharp. And let's be honest, it's a whole lot easier to face the day with a smile when you've had a solid 8 hours of proper, peaceful rest. That's why today, we're having a heart-to-heart about how to sleep better after 60 with simple, doctor-approved tips you can start using tonight. So let's talk about it, because I know it can feel frustrating when your mind's ready to rest, but your body has other plans. And while you might have heard every sleep remedy under the sun, from counting sheep to drinking warm milk, it turns out the real solutions are often much simpler and backed by science. First, let's look at one of the biggest culprits that mess with sleep as we age: irregular sleep schedules. It's tempting to sleep in on weekends or stay up later if you're watching an interesting show or reading a good book. But your body's internal clock, called the circadian rhythm, loves routine. It thrives on predictability. When your sleep and wake times jump around, your brain gets confused, and falling asleep becomes harder. One simple way to fix this: set a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends. Yes, even on Sundays when you don't have anywhere to be. It might feel like a small change, but it can have a surprisingly big effect on how quickly you fall asleep and how refreshed you feel in the morning. Now, I get it. Some nights, no matter what you do, sleep just doesn't come easy. And when that happens, you might be tempted to take a nap during the day to catch up. But here's the catch. Long naps or naps taken too late in the afternoon can backfire. They mess with your ability to fall asleep at night. If you absolutely need a nap, try to keep it under 30 minutes and schedule it earlier in the day, ideally before 3 p.m. Think of it like a little power boost rather than a replacement for nighttime sleep. Let's move on to something you might not realize is affecting your sleep: your bedroom itself. The environment you sleep in matters a lot more than people think. Is your room too warm, too cluttered? Is there too much light sneaking in through the curtains? Even tiny things like a blinking charger light or the hum of a fan can interrupt your sleep cycles. Doctors suggest keeping your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius, is considered the sweet spot for most people. And if outside noise is a problem, a simple white noise machine or a fan can help drown out those irritating little sounds that seem to get louder at night. Another thing you may not have considered is your evening habits. What you do in the hour or two before bed sets the tone for your night. Watching intense TV dramas, scrolling through your phone, or dealing with stressful conversations can all fire up your brain and make it harder to wind down. Try creating a simple wind-down routine. It doesn't have to be complicated. A warm bath, a cup of herbal tea, some light stretching, or even listening to calming music can signal to your body that it's time to rest. Speaking of herbal tea, while we're on the topic of evening habits, let's talk about caffeine. Most people know that coffee can keep you up at night, but did you know that even tea, chocolate, and some medications contain enough caffeine to mess with your sleep if consumed too late in the day? As we age, our bodies process caffeine more slowly, so something you had at 4 p.m. might still be lingering in your system by bedtime. The simple fix: cut off caffeine by early afternoon. Switch to decaf options or soothing herbal teas like chamomile, which has been shown to help promote better sleep. Now that we've touched on bedtime routines and those sneaky habits that can sabotage sleep, let's gently steer this conversation toward a crucial but often overlooked part of the equation: physical activity. Don't worry, I'm not about to suggest you start training for a marathon, but light, regular exercise can make a world of difference for sleep. A brisk 20 to 30 minute walk in the morning or early evening is enough to help regulate your sleep cycle. The trick is to avoid exercising too close to bedtime because that can leave you too energized to sleep. Plus, getting some fresh air and sunlight during the day helps your body produce melatonin, the hormone that signals it's time to sleep when night falls. Now that we've eased into some of these practical, doctor-approved tips to help you sleep better after 60, it's clear that small adjustments in our daily habits can lead to bigger, restful nights. And honestly, isn't it nice to know you don't need a shelf full of pills or fancy gadgets to start sleeping better? You just need to tweak a few things you're probably already doing. Let's keep this momentum going. There's more we can do to ensure you're not just sleeping, but sleeping deeply and waking up refreshed. And it all starts with understanding what's happening inside your body as you age and how you can work with it, not against it. All right, now that we've set the stage with a few simple but powerful changes like setting a steady bedtime, being mindful of naps, tweaking the bedroom environment, and watching out for sneaky evening habits, let's dig a little deeper. Because when it comes to sleep after 60, it's not just about what you do before bed. It's about how you treat your body and mind throughout the day. One of the biggest things I've noticed, especially when talking to folks in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, is how stress tends to pile up silently. You may not realize it, but those small worries about your health, your family, finances, or just what's happening in the world, they build up and weigh heavy on your mind. And when you finally lay your head down on the pillow, that's when your brain decides it's the perfect time to replay every single thought you tried to ignore all day. Now, no one can eliminate stress completely. Life will always have its ups and downs, but you can train your brain to handle it better. Doctors often recommend relaxation techniques like deep breathing, gentle yoga, or even simple mindfulness exercises. And before you roll your eyes and think, "I'm not the meditating type," hear me out. You don't need to sit cross-legged on a mountaintop. Even 5 minutes of focused breathing while sitting in your favorite chair can calm your nervous system. Try this. Take a slow breath in through your nose for a count of 4. Hold it for 4, then breathe out through your mouth for a count of 6. Do this a few times before bed, and you might be surprised at how much it helps. Another overlooked part of the sleep equation is what you're eating and drinking. As you get older, your digestion slows down, and certain foods can trigger discomfort or indigestion, making it harder to drift off. Spicy, heavy, or greasy meals late in the evening are often culprits. A lighter dinner a few hours before bed works wonders. Think soups, steamed vegetables, or a small bowl of oatmeal with a drizzle of honey. And while we already touched on cutting caffeine in the afternoon, it's worth adding that too much fluid right before bedtime isn't ideal either. Nobody enjoys those 2 a.m. bathroom trips. Try to taper off liquids about an hour before you plan to sleep. Speaking of evenings, one simple yet surprisingly effective sleep hack is exposing yourself to natural light during the day, particularly in the morning. It might sound unrelated, but your body's internal clock depends on light cues to know when it's time to be awake and when it's time to wind down. A short walk outdoors or even sitting by a sunny window for 20 minutes in the morning can help reset your sleep rhythm and improve how easily you fall asleep later. And here's one more thing. Your bedroom shouldn't double as your TV room, office, or snack lounge. I know it's cozy to watch movies in bed or scroll through your phone while lying down, but it sends mixed signals to your brain. Your mind needs to associate your bed with two things: sleep and, well, you know the other one. If you're having trouble sleeping, it's best to get out of bed and go to another room if you've been lying awake for more than 20 minutes. Do something relaxing, read a light book, listen to calm music, then head back to bed when you're genuinely sleepy. It might feel odd at first, but this trick can help reset your brain's connection with bedtime. Let's not forget about medications. As we age, most of us end up with a few prescriptions on the nightstand. Some medications, even ones you wouldn't expect, can interfere with sleep. Blood pressure pills, certain pain medications, and even over-the-counter decongestants can mess with your rest. It's a good idea to review your medications with your doctor or pharmacist and ask whether any of them could be affecting your sleep. Sometimes adjusting the timing or switching to an alternative can make a big difference. Another thing that creeps up after 60 is joint pain or discomfort. It's one of the most common reasons people wake up in the middle of the night. Aching hips, stiff knees, sore backs. they can all cut into your sleep quality. The good news: you don't need to suffer through it. Investing in a supportive mattress or adding a mattress topper can cushion those pressure points. And don't underestimate the power of gentle stretches before bed. Loosening up tight muscles can ease discomfort and help you settle into a deeper, more restful sleep. Now, before we wrap up this part of our chat, there's one more thing I'd love to mention: staying socially connected. You might be wondering what that has to do with sleep. But loneliness and isolation, which sadly affect many older adults, have been linked to poor sleep quality. Having someone to talk to, whether it's a neighbor, a friend on the phone, or a good old-fashioned letter-writing buddy, can lift your spirits and ease those overactive nighttime thoughts. Sleep isn't just about physical rest, it's also about emotional peace. A good laugh, a heart-to-heart chat, or simply knowing someone cares about you can quiet the mind far better than a sleep aid ever could. So if it's been a while since you've reached out to an old friend or family member, consider this your gentle nudge. Now, if you've stuck around this far, first of all, thank you. It tells me one thing about you: you're serious about getting the rest you deserve. And honestly, you should be. Because good sleep isn't a luxury after 60. It's essential for everything from heart health to memory to waking up feeling like yourself again. So let's keep building on what we've covered and round this off with a few more doctor-approved ways to reclaim those peaceful nights. One thing that surprises a lot of people is just how much your daily movement affects your nightly rest. Now I get it. After a certain age, our bodies don't always feel as spry as they once did. Knees crack, backs complain, and energy dips. But hear me out, because this isn't about running marathons or joining a boot camp. Gentle, consistent movement during the day is one of the best gifts you can give your future sleeping self. A brisk morning walk, a little gardening, light stretches, or even simple chair exercises can work wonders. Physical activity helps regulate your body's internal clock, reduces anxiety, and can even ease those aches and pains that make it hard to find a comfy position at night. And if you've been feeling stiff lately, consider trying a bit of Tai Chi or water aerobics. They're easy on the joints and surprisingly effective in promoting relaxation. The goal isn't to exhaust yourself, it's to stay active enough during the day so your body feels naturally ready to rest at night. And while we're on the subject of winding down, let's talk about creating a nightly routine. You see, humans are creatures of habit. Our bodies thrive on signals, and bedtime rituals can send a powerful one to your brain, letting it know it's time to shift into sleep mode. It doesn't have to be complicated or fancy. It could be as simple as sipping a warm cup of caffeine-free herbal tea, reading a few pages of a book, or listening to calming music. Even something as small as dimming the lights around the house an hour before bed can tell your brain it's time to ease up. Some people swear by a warm bath or foot soak before sleep, and there's real science behind it. As your body temperature drops after stepping out of the warm water, it triggers a natural sleepy feeling. Add a drop or two of lavender oil, and you've got yourself a calming, spa-like moment without leaving home. Now, while it's tempting to think about reaching for over-the-counter sleep aids or prescription medications when sleep won't come, doctors generally advise caution, especially for older adults. Many of these can leave you groggy in the morning, increase your risk of falls, or interfere with other medications. Natural remedies like chamomile tea, valerian root, or magnesium supplements can sometimes help, but it's always wise to check with your doctor first. That said, one of the most powerful, underrated sleep tools doesn't come in a bottle at all. It comes from your own mind. Positive mental habits are just as important as physical ones. If you find yourself lying awake at night, thoughts racing, try a gratitude exercise. Think of 3 good things that happened during the day, no matter how small. Maybe it was a kind word from a stranger, a phone call with a loved one, or simply catching a beautiful sunset. This small habit can gently shift your mind away from worry and onto calmer, kinder thoughts, making it easier to drift off. And remember, no one sleeps perfectly every single night, not even the healthiest folks. Some nights will be better than others, and that's okay. The key is consistency. Small, steady improvements in your habits can snowball into major benefits over time. And even on restless nights, practicing patience with yourself is half the battle. As we wrap this up, I want you to remember something important. Good sleep is not a lost cause just because you've passed a certain birthday. You absolutely have the power to improve how you rest, how you feel in the morning, and how much energy you carry through your day. Every small change you make, whether it's a daily walk, a better mattress, a new bedtime ritual, or a phone call to an old friend, stacks up in your favor. And if you found any of these ideas helpful, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us, what's your biggest sleep struggle, or what little trick has worked for you? Your experience might be exactly what someone else here needs to hear. If this video brought you a little hope or a helpful tip, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. We've got plenty more coming your way to help you live your happiest, healthiest life at any age. Here's to peaceful nights, brighter mornings, and the beautiful truth that it's never too late to take care of yourself. Sleep well, my friend.